Alright, so I know this flew underneath a lot of people's radars, including myself, but we do have today an upcoming FOMC minutes meeting. Now, the reason why this has flown underneath a lot of people's radars is because it's really not as important as the FOMC meeting. This is really the entree, or this is the opening act to get ready for the upcoming FOMC meeting. So if you've never heard of the Fed minutes, I don't blame you. Most people don't talk about this. The FOMC minutes is a detailed meeting held about 2 to 3 weeks before the official FOMC meeting. As you can still see, the next major FOMC meeting is still 21 days away. In this meeting, they're going to be discussing things like the committee's policy settings and insights about their views on the economy and subsequently the money policy. So, as basically all of these articles will confirm, these will basically give us a decent amount of insight whether the Fed is going to continue and increase the interest rates once again by another 75 basis points coming into July. So we'll definitely see how this plans out. I will be updating this later on, and I will also be talking about this on my Twitter as it does come out. I find it very, very likely that they are going to be hinting or talking about raising the interest rates by 75 basis points once again. The Chicago Mercantile Exchange once again is predicting 100% likelihood of another interest rate hike. This is basically, I've been talking about this for the past couple of meetings. We've been looking at this and they've basically called everyone accurately. So this is definitely a good place to head over to the CME group. If you just type in CME countdown, this should be the first thing that comes up. So the important takeaways from this are, like I said, this is going to give us some important insight as to whether the Fed is very, very likely to continue increasing by either 50 or 75 basis points in July. The Fed will publish the minutes data at 2 p.m. on Washington time today. So I don't live in Washington or anywhere near there, so I did have to Google it. As of the time of recording this, actually, let's say by the time I've uploaded this, this should be about, or this video publishing should be a 3-hour countdown as to when the minutes information is going to be coming out. So I don't want to make this a TA video. However, I do want to say I did share this over on my Twitter. I posted this a while ago. If I come back to the original tweet, we've been talking about this for the past couple of FOMC meetings, but the snapshot of the last 2 FOMC meetings, every single time we pump into the bad news and then we dump the day after like clockwork. You can see we did it here. This was on the 4th of May. We pumped into the FOMC meeting even though they increased the interest rates. I guess it's because you can consider that it's priced in and it's just a relief rally before we head back down. But as you can see, massive dump after that day of the FOMC. And you know, what did we do on this meeting? We pumped into the FOMC meeting last time and dumped again. So we've got a pretty good track record of this playing out. So, you know, I posted this over on Twitter. The FOMC minutes meeting is today, 3 weeks before the official FOMC. Let's see if this fractal will play out and what could this mean for the price action. Like I said, I don't want to make this a TA video, but it is very, very likely that we could see a pump today and a dump tomorrow. How do I think that could be panning out? Well, we are currently, if we zoom out, in a massive bearish pennant right now. And if you don't want to consider it that, even though that is valid, you could just talk about this asymmetrical triangle. Nonetheless, this is an asymmetrical triangle, and this is also the pennant to this massive bearish pennant. Now, we did this before. We broke down into a somewhat micro pennant. We broke to the downside, we broke back up, made a lower high, and we're starting to move back down. But as we have been bouncing around, you can see A, B, C. It's very, very likely we come up for one last move and then head back down to the downside. This is normally how these bearish pennants pan out. They normally come up once, come down, hit the top twice, and then they start to break to the downside approximately 70% of the way through the move. So at this moment in time, we're basically, I'd say we're coming up for 70 to 80% of this entire asymmetrical triangle. So it's very, very likely we pump into this today, head to the downside tomorrow, and then the day after we start falling out of this. This is kind of what I see coming into fruition for the Bitcoin price coming into this Fed minutes meeting. Now, if we are going to pump up today, 21,000 is very, very likely to be a major, major area of resistance. If we remove this Fibonacci from this micro move, the 618 fib, let's see, if we pump up 618 fib is going to be coming in at 21,116. So that is basically the price to beat. If we get the original fib back, 21,100. This is where we need to break above. I really doubt that we would be moving above this. I'm going to mark it red for resistance, get rid of this. So I do think it's very, very likely we might head up, but we're probably going to head back down in the next couple of days. Now, once again, am I saying that because it is possible that we could move up another $1,000 that we should be longing at this moment in time? Absolutely not. On this channel, I really don't like to predict what's going to happen in the next 4 hours, the next 24 hours. I'm much more of a higher time frame move type of person. I'd much rather say I'm very confident in the fact that this is going to be the direction of the trend. Whether we go straight down or whether we bounce up to 21,000 and head back down, it does not matter to me. But if we do head up to 21,000 today and we solidify a strong rejection from this 618 Fibonacci, which is also almost coming into play with the 21,000 resistance that we have in this asymmetrical triangle slash bearish pennant, then it's very, very likely that I'll be entering a short around about 21 to 21,100, and I will be having my take profit just above the bottom of this asymmetrical triangle. So this would not be the first price target, or this rather would be the first price target of the asymmetrical triangle. We'd head down, probably hit 17,600, have a bounce, and then head back down to these lower price targets, in which I think the bottom for Bitcoin is finally going to play out. So that is all I've got for the FOMC meeting. If you do want to follow me over on Twitter, because I do share these news before I do post them over on my YouTube channel, I will also be posting, anything important that happens regarding the FOMC minutes meeting over on Twitter well before I do that over on YouTube. So if you do want to follow me over on Twitter, my account is here at 618_cowboy. That's all I've got for you today, and as always, my friends, cowboy out. Peace.